welcome back to another episode of the Best Women's Boxing Show, period. Jeandra, you're looking fly. Look at them. Not the weave. We were just talking about fuck the weave about Franchon, but you got the braids again.
Yes, I know it looks fly. I know you guys like it.
It's very sexy.
But you know what? It's a workaround because y'all know I love my big fro and it doesn't look good under the headset, so we gonna rock the braids.
I like it. I really love it. But anyways, I am Cynthia Conte.
And I'm Jeandra LeBeauf.
You know what? I think the last time I was like pulling your hair. It's so sexy. But you got 6 braids going on.
Mm-hmm. Little different, switching it up.
Doesn't it hurt? I've asked you this before.
You know what? It's all about, lady boxers, if you're in the Los Angeles area and you need a recommendation, I got you. The key to it is finding the right braider. Because if you have the right braider, like I do, shout out to Brown Girl Braids, they're not all super yanking at your scalp. And it looks tighter than it actually is. If somebody's yanking the hell out of your scalp, then they ain't doing it right. But I wanted to ask you a question.
What?
So before we got together here on the Best Women's Boxing Show, period, we know each other through our travels, and you work for Ring Magazine. You've done some great interviews. You've taken some trips with them. What type of interview still gets you up and excited? Like, what is the most, like, if you were planning your day and you wanted, this is the best interview that I'm so excited to go do this. What gets you up? You don't have to say a name, but what are the circumstances that make you excited?
That's a hard one because you know what? Every fighter that I've interviewed, or I'm not going to say every, but majority of the fighters, I always find out something about them either through their social media or something that I know no one's asked yet. So I get very, very excited. But if I'm going to have to name drop, it would be Manny Pacquiao because I sang with him. I did karaoke. Well, I didn't do karaoke. I sang with him in the ring during one of his media days at Wildcard. So he didn't believe I spoke Tagalog. He didn't believe I could sing a Tagalog song. So he was like, he put me on the fly. And he was just like, it was really an amazing, because I really wanted to do a karaoke with him before he ended his career. And you know what? I just kind of married them together, and that was like the best. And Showtime caught it on there, and then I got to award Manny an award from Showtime. They're like, Cynthia, you go ahead. I'm like, so I get really excited, especially if I'm a fangirl. And of course, it's someone that I really, truly admire in the ring.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. Yeah. I love Manny Pacquiao, too. He's actually a favorite of mine. You know, people ask me sometime who gets me starstruck. Pretty much none of the biters, they definitely don't get me excited.
Tyson does.
Okay. But if we had to talk about fighters, I do still get a little starstruck when I talk to Manny Pacquiao. It's something about him. It's the eyes. And it's just like I don't know how to describe it. It's just something about Manny Pacquiao that's very intriguing.
Easy on the eyes. You know, he just has kind eyes.
Maybe that's it, because
it's the smile.
You know what? He always looks like he's having a good time. I don't think I've ever seen Manny Pacquiao frown. He just always looks like he's happy to be in the building.
Yeah, he's always smiling. He's really happy, and he's just a happy-go-lucky guy. I've never seen him mad. Ever.
Me neither.
Ever. And I think when Adrian Broner tried to piss him off during their fight, he just laughed at him.
I remember that. That was a nice hotel. Where was it? At the Waldorf? I think we were at the Waldorf in Beverly Hills.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was a nice hotel.
But really bad Wi-Fi. I remember that.
Expensive ass hotel with terrible Wi-Fi. But that was a great press conference. But yeah, nothing gets him off of his square. Adrian Broner was trying to talk mess to him about driving, or I got to go back down to archives. And he was just like, so funny.
You know what? I just looked in my office of a lot of this stuff. Like some of the set is pretty much all mine. And that's how you know I'm a true boxing fan. I just don't have it. Like that's my glove, and that's my Ring magazine, and that's Oscar De La Hoya, you know. But I have the one from Adrian Broner and Manny. Do you remember the faces?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so whenever my son Brooklyn would walk in, I would like put it on.
I have ones Floyd and Maidana from their first fight. I have a picture of my baby, or maybe I'll put it in post, but my baby is sleeping on her bed because I took her with me. And you just see Manny just smiling and Floyd just, and my baby just sleeping nicely with the little fans there. It's so cute.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah, interviewing Manny's great.
Yes, it is.
I think, I don't know. Well, I mean, I've talked about it before. Maybe I don't know about on the show. I remember Steven Carino. So is that how you say it? I always Correño
with the tilde.
With that, yeah. We went to breakfast with Manny after his run, and so
Wow.
you know, he got to eat some Filipino food, and we just sat there and talked, you know, interviews and boxing. And I was like, so you know, if you ever run for the president. And I could do that because I'm Filipino. So, you know, I can talk politics with him because it's very, very, the politics in the Philippines is it's hard to talk about. But he's just like, no, I don't think I would. And I'm like, you know what? Even if you didn't, they would write you in. And like Buboy would be your vice president, which is his trainer. But it was really eye-opening that he had one of the things that he first did when he was a senator, he wrote this bill in for any of the older fighters. We're talking elder fighters or people that have just been boxing and then they stopped, but they still kind of continued. There's a bill for them to continue to get money and continue to get health care.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, you don't even really have that here in America.
Sure don't.
And so he goes, I am all about fighter safety and then for the health and safety of my Filipino fighters. And so, and that's weird that no one's ever written about that. And I just randomly had to talk him. We were talking over breakfast while people were asking him about like Broner or whoever. I think it was Broner who he was fighting, and I was just like asking him about political issues. And everyone was like, "Don't ask him." I'm like, I can ask that. I can talk about it because I know the issues going on in the Philippines. So, but yeah, that's like, you know, if he ever came back out of retirement, I would still get very, very excited.
I know. Well, salute to him. And that's kind of indirectly like a great segue to our guest today. So we have Manny Pacquiao, who was supposed to fight our guest's protege,
Errol Spence
today.
Jr.
That fight fell apart, as we know, when Errol Spence had his orbital injury and Ugas stepped in, upset the apple cart, defeated Manny Pacquiao, who went on to fight Errol Spence. So yeah, we're excited to talk to Errol Spence's trainer.
We got Derrick James in the building. Well, actually not in the building, but on Zoom. You know, I can't remember what year because it was during pandemic or right before pandemic when I awarded you the Ring Magazine Trainer of the Year.
Yeah.
You're also WBC Trainer of the Year because you got two fabulous champions under your belt, Errol Spence Jr. and Jermell Charlo. You know, we're going to get to the nitty gritty because this is boxing and we just go into it. Errol Spence Jr. Let's talk about that fight because he pulled off one of the best performances we have ever seen. Like, I mean, crazy enough to say that nothing ever happened. And you said it, Errol said it, that he looks better than ever. I remember I text you after the horrific accident, just saying my prayers. I know I don't want to go back into it, but Derrick, he's like your son. Break that down for us. How did you feel when all of that happened?
For me, I never really got the opportunity to be upset because when I got to the hospital, I was upset, but not like just like so upset to where I couldn't focus. I got there, the police officer was there on the scene, and then the doctors came out and told me that he wasn't, didn't have anything broken and nothing injured, no injuries other than the teeth or whatever. And so that, for me, that was it. I mean, when I heard that, it wasn't a big issue at that point because, I know he'd be okay. I didn't care about the boxing thing. Mm-hmm. I just knew he'd be okay, and that's all I cared about.
When the footage was released, when you heard from the doctor, it was just the teeth, and then when you actually saw the footage of the, thank goodness, praise God that he came out in one piece. But when you saw that, Derrick, what did you honestly think?
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it that nothing was wrong with him. I couldn't believe that somebody could survive that, it's just everything was all about timing because if had he hit, there were light poles in the middle of the street that could have been cars coming. It could have been a lot of stuff that could have happened. And none of those things happened. Very fortunate, and I'm happy for that. Yeah.
So when he shows up after that, you've been with him for many, many years, and you know him very well as an athlete. Does that make you tentative? Does that make you nervous as a trainer to jump right back into that pushing? What type of soul search did you do? Like, I don't want to push him too hard. How did that change? Just re-emerging back into training for you.
Well, when he said he said he was just coming to the gym, and I thought he was just coming to the gym just to kind of like get a feel of it. He came to the gym with his bag ready to do a little workout.
Wow!
And I think that when he started working out, I believe even when he knows where he was, like you got to gauge him from the Sean Porter fight because that's right when it happened. Right? Mm-hmm. I think that he had to fall back a little bit and understand, really take into that realized this is really what happened and what he just went through. And then when he did that, I mean, it was just like a gradual workout, like really something real light, because you really realized you can't focus on who he was. It's like who he is now. You got to take him for who he is now. That's really what it was all about. Just taking any time with it, but more of a communication. We talked a lot, see how he's feeling, and just gave him my feedback on more about how I thought he was doing, just, for affirmation. And because it's like, this is a whole mental situation also. So he has to know that he can do it and believe in it. And I believe that he needs to know that I believe in him also. So
when it's all mental and giving him aspiration and just pushing him, were there at times that he was really pushing himself and you just say, just chill, Errol? Or was he the one like, no, let's keep going, Derrick. Let's just keep on going?
Well, we just played it by ear, basically, like how he's feeling until he built up to the energy to do more. Because when we don't do rounds, we do nonstop. So it could be 25 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever, 21 minutes. So it's just about him feeling the moment. Like if it's a little bit too much, I pull back. You can kind of tell because you know the guy.
Mm-hmm. What's the longest? I'm sorry, Derrick. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, you said you guys don't do rounds. You'd be 20, 25. What's the longest session, like one session round? However, what's the longest he's ever gone without stopping?
Probably because say we do 25 minutes, right? Then let's say 10 more minutes. So when you get to 25, it's 10 more minutes. Then you say 10 more. So probably like about 45 minutes, maybe 50 minutes.
He sparred for 45 minutes without stopping?
Well, on the mitts, like on the mitts, 50 minutes.
I was going to say, was that with one person?
No. On the bag, you can go like 30, 45 minutes.
Wow.
But no, not in sparring, we do 3-minute rounds with 30-second break. We don't. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember the last time when I went there to do an exclusive for Ring magazine, I saw Errol spar, and I mean, I've seen the work rate, both of you, and I think my photog, Dino, and I, we were just exhausted just watching you guys, and we weren't even doing anything. Right. But Errol, it's crazy enough that he has not missed a beat, and God had a plan for him, and for him to be here still with us to fight another day is a testament to the person he is and this the fighter that he is. I mean, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. That whole part of him is in the past, and he's really proven to us that he is really.
He's making his case.
My God.
I want to say that it's a true testament to himself and his work ethic. Because you think about this, he was off, like he had 2 big long breaks. Mm-hmm. But when those 2 times he came back, he was able to prevail and be great, and like beating Danny Garcia and then beating Ugas, who had just beat Pacquiao, who just fought Sean Porter. I mean, so listen, you think about all the people that, and like even in researching, like because when you start to you gotta watch tape on Ugas and realize how many of these guys he really beat and who all he really fought. Like, man, he fought a lot of people, some tough guys. So I mean, and for him to be able to perform the way he performed just shows just what his work ethic really is and who he really wants and desires to be.
Remember, so there were 2 fights back to back. I think it was the Fundora fight and then Errol Spence's. And I remember texting you. I'm like, we saw 2 fights back to back where they battered the shit out of their face. Like, yes. I mean, Ugas, he's a fighter. I mean, we saw what he did with Manny Pacquiao, but Manny and Errol are very, very different fighters. But Errol, everything that came out of his arsenal, it's like you can't beat Errol as a fighter. It's just you think he's a pressure fighter, you think he's a boxer. He's a very well-rounded fighter, and he's always wanted to prove that he's just not a knockout artist.
Right.
So I was going to say, go ahead. I just had to say that.
It's really it's extraordinary to see how the opponent kind of dictates the version. I think back to the Mikey Garcia fight when people kept saying he was going to get out. I had a good time in Dallas.
That was fun.
I had a ball.
That wasn't like the last time we had a great time in Dallas.
For sure. And then just looking at the variety of opposition, Sean Porter has a reputation for being a brawler and smothering people, and he neutralized that. And then you get to Ugas, who is a very technical fighter, very Cuban style of fighter. He neutralizes that.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you watch tapes of your pupil and go, God damn, I did a really good job with that. I did a really good job.
You know what? I haven't really seen the fight yet, but I've seen. I don't watch it for its greatness. I watch it for its flaws. Right? I watch to see what I can see, or how I can be better, or how we can be better. Because I mean, I'm not, like I always say, I'm not a fan of the guy. I mean, I'm not going to ever cheer him on. Never going to do that. I'm just going to give him. As a fighter, I remember I wanted decisive instructions, like tell me definitive things, tell me what to do. Exactly. Step here, this. So I want to be able to do those things for the guys. So I know that from my perspective as a fighter, I remember the things that they didn't say that I wanted them to say. So it's like, man. It's like, I just watch them, and I enjoy the fights. I enjoy watching them, but I think that you can't be a fan. And because a lot, put like this, as a fan, you miss a lot of stuff. But just like true. when I watch watching boxing, other fighters fight, I have to watch as the fan. I have to watch as if I don't care. I just want to see a good fight. But when it's my guys, I have to watch the hands, the this, the that, the head movement, everything.
I mean, in that fight, I mean, as a fan, and I mean, I'm not a trainer by any means, but when you're watching Errol, were there things in there that you had to keep telling Errol, stop doing this, but continue to do this, or you need to do this more?
Well, I mean, it was like when in the beginning, he was trying to punch really hard, right? So I just told him, I just said, calm down, just let the punches flow. And I said, don't focus on the power. I said, because this guy is not going to quit. You gotta make him quit. You gotta keep chopping and hitting him in the body, hitting him and breaking him down. And I said, that's going to be the key, because I think that you can't, like with a guy, think about this guy escaped 6 times. And on the 7th time is when he got out.
Help it.
Like, yeah, right. You're right. Listen, he's funny. but on the 7th time, he was able to escape. Think about that. So he's very persistent, and he's not going to give up. Is what I learned from his history of escaping from Cuba. So like, listen, man, don't worry about trying to knock him out with the one shot. Right? Just keep breaking him down. Just keep chopping him down. Keep chopping him down. And think about this. He didn't even want to stop when they stopped the fight.
Right.
Dude, your ribs are broke. The nose is broke. Your face is like, no. He's like, I'm still fighting.
Yeah.
So that's the guy that won't quit. That's the guy that you never really want to see in real life, because he's the guy that's going to keep coming back.
That was a brutal weekend.
My God.
And the best part, if there's a best part, if you're the A side, there's the best part. The best part as fans is these were great matchups. And we saw domination of 2 greats, not a lopsided battle, because Ugas is definitely a formidable opponent. We take our hat off to him. He's had some wonderful fights. He's had his own struggles in trying to get his mandatories and championship fights. So it was a great matchup, and I enjoyed it a lot.
So, well, now that after that matchup has finally happened, Errol Spence finally calls out, for sure, Terence Crawford. That is the only fight that needs to be made in boxing. I don't care about any other fight. Well, except Serrano and whatnot. Crawford, we see him. He's at the SNAC gym. He's getting trained. He's training. And obviously, there's no fight that has been announced. But, Derrick, what's the conversations of that fight? It has to happen. I'm sorry. It has
Well,
to.
we got to check. If he's in that gym, we got to check that doping situation. But but nah, I mean, I think he's I mean, it's gonna be. I mean, it's gonna happen.
Yeah. I mean,
happen.
this year, because Terence Crawford said, keep those belts warm. I'm coming for him this year.
Hey, man, we're not fighting once a year. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, listen, it's going to happen. And that's all I got to say, And he's supposed to say that. He's been wanting these belts for a while. But it's what getting the belts is like the big deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, getting the belts is really like the issue. I may want something, but to have them and what it takes to get them, something totally different. So it's all good.
If we could have Derrick James's A list of demands, what would be on your personal list if you could submit your own? Like, these are the things we need for this fight to go. Where does it need to be? What is it? What would be ideal?
I mean, really, if you think about it like this, I'm not into the demand situation. I'm just into he's going to sign the contract. Whatever, man, it's going to be whatever good for him. And I mean, I think he has to understand what he brings to the table and has to understand what the opponent brings to the table. It's no different when Sugar Ray fought Tommy Hearns.
Mm-hmm.
There was no way Tommy Hearns, like Ray Leonard was his own promoter, right? Errol was his own promoter. And he's selling 50,000 seat arenas out. There's no way you selling 8,000 seats in Mandalay Bay in Vegas, and you can't think you're supposed to be getting the same thing that dudes, selling. So whatever. But I mean, it's business, it's life, and I think that the fight's gonna happen. Put it like that. The fight's gonna happen.
As we talk about business and gates and seats and ticket prices and gates and pay-per-views and upsides, I'm admiring your art behind you. So, I mean, you have a great champion, so that means you have some nice paydays, too. So, what is the last big... I like your art in the background, but, like, what's the last thing you splurged? What's the last thing you splurged on for yourself? Or do you buy, like, a nice little big-ticket item for yourself or someone special after a fight?
I have a lot of art in my house.
Oh.
I have a lot of art. But this I'm in the hotel, but I have a lot of art in my house.
What kind of art do you like?
I like, we'll put it like this. In my house, I have every piece of art in my house is from an African-American artist. So it's like different pieces. My house was built by a brother. I mean, my real estate agent was a brother. His real estate agent was a sister. I mean, so it's like, it was a whole deal. Title company was, black owned. I mean, so it was like everything was like, had a little spice in it. But I mean, I love art, and I love a lot of jazz. But I mean, what I spent maybe on. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't do it. I mean, I buy a house and a car. I mean, that's
what kind of car you buy?
Hey man, hey man, listen, I bought like a AMG GT53.
Woo!
Okay.
From Mercedes. Yeah.
I know Errol be like buying tractors and stuff right now for his farm.
And more chickens and animals.
He buy trucks. He bought like a couple trucks.
Oh, I see. He's building his own Chevelle. Is it a Chevelle?
Right.
Woo!
Right. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
That's a sweet car.
It's so sexy. Oh my goodness. Well. Okay, that's just one champion of yours.
Exactly.
Now we got another champion. And I remember questioning you because Jermell Charlo, he is the WBC, WBA, and IBF champ, and he's taking the junior middleweight champ, and he's taking on Brian Castaño for the WBO strap May 14th, which is her birthday.
My birthday!
She'll be repping. Yeah.
We'll be in California also.
I
Exactly.
know.
Thanks for planning that for my birthday. I appreciate it.
Happy birthday.
I'd like to thank Al Heyman for planning that fight on my birthday. Thank you, Al.
Bring her flowers and some chocolates.
And it'll be a treat for you also. We'll make sure that.
Ooh,
See, I like that.
Right.
Okay, so this fight is I remember I interviewed you for Ring, I think right after, and I questioned you about the controversy of the cards and the decision that it went to. It was a draw, I believe. And you schooled me. You're like, well, how can a man win when he's always up against the ropes? I get it. So now Castaño even says you must be wearing, not you, but Jermell should be wearing or was wearing rose-colored glasses because that was not the fight that everyone else saw. Whatever. They're going back in the ring. What have you and Jermell worked on ever since that fight? Because I know damn well you watched that fight and what he did and what Jermell needs to do in order to be victorious, a clear victory.
Well, really, I didn't have to watch the fight over because just like I remembered everything. I remember what happened in the fight or whatever, but I have watched it again. And I mean, we worked on, it's going to be like round 13. If you think about those last 4 rounds, it's going to be the first round. That's how it's going to start out, just like that, no different. So we're not going to, it's going to be really, probably Brian Castaño is a hell of an opponent. And I think that he's going to come out, unless I heard him, he said he's going to knock Jermell out. So I think that's dope. I mean, I believe it. It is. I think, hey, a man tell you that, you got to be like, okay, he's serious. I like that.
It's fighting words. I like it.
That press conference was pretty spicy that you guys had.
Knock you out. The fight is not going the distance, is what he said, which is dope. I mean, think about that, man. Somebody tell you you'll knock him out, he's going to knock you out. Like, okay.
You better back that up.
I just think that he's in the right space. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, he believes that was the best version of Jermell Charlo. And that's cool. Because, I mean, he's in the right space for that. I mean, keep believing that.
What's the best response to that? Because I always notice when fighters say to each other, I'm going to knock you out. And the other side never goes, no, I'm going to knock you out. So if somebody told you in the midst of a fight range, Derrick James, I'm going to knock you out. How do you respond to that? What is the best way to respond to somebody saying that to you?
Hey, there's no response because it's like, I mean, I think, what do you say? Like, I mean, it's like tit for tat, man. You're not a kid. So they just, okay, all right. We'll see. We'll see, okay. I'm going to remember that after the fight.
Oh, I love it. You're so funny. I mean,
I think that, you know what I think with Brian Castaño also? I think that he watched the fight, but he watched the fight for rose-colored glasses also. Because, I mean, he stole the rounds that he won. Those last 10 seconds, he stole those rounds. I mean, he threw like a flurry of punches, not necessarily saying he landed or didn't land, but, hey. But put it like this, this fight can't be close for the next one. I want decisive rounds to be won from Jermell. So you can't, there's no way on this earth he's going to get a decision in California like that. I don't believe so.
Yeah.
What's the biggest difference between Jermell Charlo and Errol Spence in the way that you train them? One
of them's left-handed, one of them's right-handed. No, I mean, I think that both of them are, in certain ways they're similar, but then in other ways they're not. I mean, I'm not going to get into that. That's a whole nother situation. So
okay,
that's a whole other interview.
Well, if you want to come by, we can cut the camera. You can tell.
Right.
I know.
Yeah, you're right. There we go. There we go.
Can't tell the sauce, the secret.
Cameras off. We can talk about it.
Because it's intriguing to what they're both at the top of their level. They both fight well. They're both magnificent. And I'm not saying that to shade one or the other because they're both at the top of their game. They're both fantastic athletes. They just have totally different personalities. And you train them both. So
but with that even being said, Derrick, I mean, you're in Dallas. Do you get fighters banging at your door like, can you train me? I mean, if I were a fighter and I knew that you've got two great champions under your belt and you must be doing something right.
Hello.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm doing a little bit.
A little something.
Just a little something.
But no, I mean, people ask me all the time. I mean, I really don't. I work a job, so I kind of want to keep like certain parts of the life regular. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to be so engulfed in boxing to where I just can't have a conversation. I don't know anything about the world. I mean, it's boring. I think it's boring sit in the gym all day and do boxing or whatever. So
I
I
agree.
kind of move around a little bit. I do have a job, so I do that, and then I go to the gym and train or whatever. And that's
Wait,
it.
what do you mean you have a job?
You got a job,
What's
yeah.
a job like? What do you do?
I'm a trainer. So
Oh, yeah, that's
personal
right. I remember when I went to your gym, he has a really cool gym. So in the back, it looks like one of those things that you see the influencers always doing something.
Mm-hmm.
He has these really cool windows. It's really cool. Yeah, that's right. I remember. I wanted to do a workout with him, but I was short on time. I wanted to film it.
Okay, so maintaining
Right.
that balance, how did Burley Brooks make his way into the gym? Because I know you have
Well,
a third fighter.
We known Burley for like years. Like we knew him. He was at a gym we used to train at. So it was like, and it was like he was a young kid there in the gym. And when he got returned pro, where else would he go? But with Errol. And so he's been with us ever since then. But I trained like Frank Martin.
Mm-hmm.
And Marcus Brown.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so yeah, that's like 5 guys, So that's at my limit, no more.
You don't want to train any women, since we are a women's boxing show. Not just women, but we do talk to men. But would you ever take a female?
I mean, I would. I'm not sexist, so yes, I would take a female, but I don't have any time. Like I'm like, I don't have any time for anybody else.
Don't say that, because next thing that's going to happen is the female fighter's going to be waiting outside of the gym and hit one of the fighters with the Nancy Kerrigan or the Tanya Harding and hit them in there. Oh, you got space now. One of your fighters fell out. Let me move in.
Listen, that's funny.
But it's, it is a little segue since we are of women's podcast show, boxing show. Do you watch women's fights?
I don't watch any. I really don't watch boxing at all.
Oh, interesting. Okay, well then I'm not going to ask you about Katie Taylor versus Serrano.
But I really want to. I think that's an interesting fight, though. I think it is. I mean,
okay. So
Katie
since
Taylor,
you don't watch it, go ahead. I want to hear your stance on it.
Katie Taylor, I think she's still like an outstanding fighter, and Serrano's the one that knocks a lot of people out, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that should be interesting. Katie Taylor's gonna have to come out there and beat this box, but she gets knockouts also, I think. I mean, but I don't watch a lot of boxing. I'm for real.
Bringing 2 champions all the way up to bringing 2 guys to these championships, what advice would you give to an upcoming trainer who wants to take the path like you, where they're not fully immersed into boxing? They still have an outside life and a career, because like many, like Cynthia and I, we have outside jobs besides us too, to try to be balanced. So if somebody wanted to follow your path, what would you advise them to do?
I would tell them that to be able to be a good trainer is to remove yourself from the situation totally, meaning that you never reference yourself when you're talking to them about boxing. You never really, and you don't try to train them like you used to fight, right? But you may take some attributes that you use or this or that, and something that's applicable to this particular individual, so you can apply it to him and help him, he or she help him, right? And so I think that, because what happens is a lot of times when you say, I used to do this, I used to do that, so that's like challenging the fighter, and these young kids don't take it like that. Like, man, what do you. So I think that you have to remove yourself. And like I see like this one guy training the fighter, and I mean, it's a lot of people that train fighters, and they try to train the fighters just like they used to fight. So I think that's the biggest issue.
Is there any fighter out there, since, you don't really watch boxing, but I know you do. Is there any other fighter out there that really excites you, that you, when you do watch it as a fan, what fighter excites you, or what matchups have that you were excited about recently?
You know what? I like Tank Davis. I like,
okay.
I did like Anthony Joshua a while ago. I like him.
What happened?
Especially, I think that, I haven't really seen him fight much. I just know he lost a couple fights, but I think he's still a good fighter.
Do you think in the rematch with Usyk, because apparently that's going to be going down very soon, do you think Anthony Joshua will be able to I don't even want to say outbox Usyk, because you can't outbox I think I remember I asked you and you told me Usyk, but this is the rematch, and I think he brought on an American trainer. I don't know. Does that help coming from a trainer's perspective? If you brought in a new trainer specifically for a fight,
that could make a difference. That could make a difference. I think that
okay.
I think it could help.
I just didn't know if you revert back to your old ways. That's why.
That's possible too. I mean, I think that his trainer to probably to be able to deal with Usyk's speed and his athleticism, he's gonna have to bring on a trainer from further than America. Mm-hmm. Bring on a trainer from like the heavenly, whatever. Jesus gonna have to come down. I think that because I think that it's like, come on, man. I think it's speed. I didn't see the fight, but I can just imagine the speed and his time and the athleticism was the key. He had to keep up with, and that's something very difficult.
So what is this? So what's the shift that if you had Anthony Joshua in your camp, what would you like to focus on with him? What would you start with?
What does he need? Yeah.
Well, first of all, I work with him on the defense. I work with everybody on the defense first and foremost. Because the key element is for these guys that if they're ever in a storm, to be able to be calm. So you have to be able to know that you can protect yourself at all times, and defensive perspective. Then I will work with him on like his reaction time. His reaction time is key for everything.
What's your remedy for that, for reaction time? Like we see some people like to use the tennis balls and all that kind of stuff. What's your training technique, if you can share that? I work the mitts. And I'm moving, I'm bouncing, I'm moving around, and my speed in itself is like, because you have to teach somebody. Because what happens in boxing, you may have an idea what you really want to throw, but you can only throw what the other person presents, or you can throw what you want to throw, but intelligent fighters throw what the other person presents or what they create. So you teach somebody to create something, or to be able to react off of what somebody presents. So that's all about reaction time.
Okay, well, we just saw, did you see the Fury fight recently?
No.
Okay, well, if you didn't see it, regardless.
I didn't see it.
Okay, but as you know, Fury as a fighter, everyone says that he's probably the fastest heavyweight, especially at his as big as he is, and he is retiring. But I honestly don't think he'll retire. I think he'll come back eventually.
Same.
And it will probably be for Usyk. Sorry, guys. I think Usyk wins the rematch. Now, based on what you know of Usyk and Fury, it's boxer versus boxer, but Fury is also much bigger, and Usyk, he does have some knockout power.
Right. Usyk, I think, he's going to be too fast for these guys.
That's what I say. I say that all the time, and everyone gets mad.
His speed, listen, I just think that, but Tyson Fury throws a lot of punches, so that may throw off the speed, right, to where it throws out the speed. But I think that he's a cruiserweight. Mm-hmm. I mean, and that you take that into consideration. A little bitty guy is always in boxing, or from what I always believed, is that a good little guy will be a good big guy, or okay big guy, right? When it comes to a really super great big guy, it may be a little bit more difficult, but his speed may be the difference. I mean, I think that his speed, his reaction, his athleticism, and moving around, I think that may be the difference.
I've always said it. Usyk is going to be the undisputed. Sorry, guys.
Well, listen,
if I was a betting woman,
I've never seen Usyk fight one time. I never even seen him throw a punch.
Yeah,
but I know that he's faster than those bigger guys. I never seen the clip. Man, I don't watch a lot of boxing.
You are in a bubble. Like, we're gonna put some bubble wrap around you. You don't watch no boxing except what you train.
Except our fighters.
Exactly.
I do watch some fights. I mean, if I'm not watching, I'm gonna go to a fight. But I think that it's like you can't be so consumed with this thing.
No, it's true.
That's facts.
I mean, listen, the consumption of it. It's like, come on, man. If I'm in, I teach boxing at a health club. Then I go to my gym and I train fighters. Well, that's a whole lot. That's a whole lot of, and every phone call you have throughout the day, It's about somebody about some boxing. So you think I want to watch boxing when I get home?
That's true.
Okay, so what do you have at your house that is the most unboxing-like thing that is so counter to your life? Like, do you have a fluffy poodle? Like, what's the most opposite boxing thing you have?
I have a patio upstairs, and I sit on my patio and just look out into the pond in the backyard, and it's kind of like really quiet, really peaceful. Listen to the bugs or whatever it is out there making
The
noises.
bugs in Texas.
Because it's kind of like I live in the country, but I don't. But it's like the pond and the whole seems like it's quiet, very serene, and very quiet.
I think you're the first that said I have a pond in my backyard.
I know, it's giving very Princess and the Frog. I love it. So, man, you've got a pond. Errol's got a farm. Do you go over to the farm?
He has the pond also. He has a pond also. We talk about our ponds and everything. he has some work done on his pond. He's like,
do you have lily pads and frogs in your pond?
You know what?
That's adorable.
I probably do have some frog. My daughter saw a frog in the yard the other day. So yeah,
take us some video. Yeah. Send us some video of the pond. See, look. Look. You guys can bond with Terence Crawford over that because he likes to fish. He's a big time fisherman.
Remember? Hello. Errol Spence, he's the big fish. He's knocking on Terrence's door.
See, we writing stuff for their build up.
Right.
We building it up for you guys. So don't disappoint us.
Well, you know what?
Hey, listen, it won't be now. Listen, Terence Crawford is a phenomenal fighter, and so I'm gonna tell you like this: he's gonna bring it all. He's not gonna play. I mean, his trainer, all his trainers, they're gonna all have him ready, and so that's what you got to think about. It's gonna be a phenomenal fight.
It sure
Errol will be ready. Terence is going to be ready for sure. He's been waiting on this for many years or whatever he said. So it's going to be a phenomenal fight. And I'm just telling you, just listen, just watch. You know, as Trinidad James said, don't believe me, just watch.
I like it. I'm gonna make sure I have a babysitter for that fight week.
If it's in the winter, I want to wear some fur.
Well, I'll wear fur regardless in sequence.
And listen, you're gonna be fly. It's gonna be a phenomenal fight. I think that it's something everybody wants to see. And listen, I'm dedicating this fight to my guys who really, they really talked about the fight big time, So it was like, it's going to be good. That's all I got to say. It's going to be real good. It's going to be phenomenal.
Why do we have half your face on camera, Derek?
Hey, I'm sitting back. I was sitting up here.
Go.
Okay, real fast before we let you go. I'm looking at your website right now, and I really love this shirt that you have. It's called 3 Dreams. I am living my ancestors' dreams, Martin Luther King's dreams, and my haters' dreams in orange.
Haters.
And your quote is, I am my greatest competition.
Right.
I think you need to send us some shirts over here.
We like shirts.
I got you.
You told me you were going to give me some Errol Spence gear. I'm sorry.
I have no control. Listen, hey, wait. I have no control over Errol.
Oh, wait. Actually, gear. Errol told me. Not you. I forgot.
Yeah. I have no control over his situation.
Okay.
But, I mean, I can sing you some stuff. I'm singing like, I got a little pink one.
Oh, we like pink.
White and pink, white and pink with a little glitter, bedazzle on it.
Did you see that? Bedazzle. He already knows. Cute. Okay.
And then we also want you to do a weekly segment with us from the pond. And
listen, what's funny about it is, this was crazy. I don't go out there a lot, right? Because when we go out there, it's so relaxing that you stay longer than you intended to. So, and we have to take water. You have to have water out there, because if not, you're going to get dehydrated. So it's like, it's so relaxing. You sit there, and it's like 2, 3, 4 hours pass by. You're like, man, what the heck? You get up and you're dizzy. So, it's like.
See,
I didn't know the country was like that.
It's chilling.
It's the city, but it's like country-esque. Country-esque.
No, but his gym, your gym is not even on the Uber map. When we took an Uber, me and Thino were like, he's like, I'm not sure where I'm taking you. It's like this back road. Your address is not even on the map. I was like,
love that.
I mean, if I was like stalkerazzi, paparazzi, be like, but I was like, I think this is it. I'm not sure, but no, it's a really cool gym. I think we're gonna have to take a work trip for our channel. Ryan, let's put this in a proposal that we're gonna come and you're gonna teach us your boxer size, Derek.
I'm gonna sit at the pond.
That's true. Okay.
Sit at the pond and listen to my little, I'm gonna see some footage of how it sounds in my backyard.
Send it to us. Don't send it to anyone else.
Yeah.
Send it to
I'm
us.
gonna send it to you.
I thought you said you were gonna sing to us. I'm like, oh yeah,
You
go
do
on,
that
boy.
too.
You sing us. All right.
No melodies here. No melodies here. No.
Oh, Derek.
No hidden talents. You crocheting or anything like that.
I was a designer, so I used to go. I could sew.
What?
Yeah, I could sew. Yeah, I went to school for fashion design, so I could sew. Yeah.
What?
Hold on.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
But.
Wait, what kind of suits or
what were you
women's wear?
I've done that. I've done that before. I've done that before. I've made curtains and all kind of crap. I worked for my aunt's interior decorating firm, and one time I made curtains for her or my daughter's room, or like clothes, like my son, a little jumper. He was a little kid, he was a baby. Shorts and all kind of boxing trunks.
Have you ever offered Errol and Jermell to make their ring walk?
No. I don't have the time. Listen, I don't have the time, and I can't make a lion's head.
That's true. Wow, we just learned something new about you.
I never heard that before.
I have
amazing.
Never.
Right. Thank you for that.
Thank you for the first.
I was like a designer. I wanted to be a fashion designer. So yeah.
You still can.
That explains the art.
Oh yeah. I'm done with that. I'm done with that.
No, you're not.
Jazz and art. Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
Wow. He doesn't watch boxing. He loves jazz. He loves art. He wanted to be a designer. He knows how to make glitterati. He knows how to make curtains.
No. Well, I never said glitterati. I said that I can make some curtains. But yeah.
I am impressed.
All right.
Wow, the stuff we learn here. But Derek, I appreciate you. We appreciate you for coming on and letting us know. Just giving us some insider information about things that we had no idea.
He's going to make us some clothes for the show. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
there we go.
All right, Derek.
And you can come sit at my pond.
There we go.
We're doing that. For sure. I'll bring a bottle.
We can do a full-on interview. Oh, my God, this is fun. Okay, Derek, we got to wrap, but we appreciate you. We can't wait to see Errol Spence and Terence Crawford in the ring for all them marbles. Woo! And we're going to see you there for sure. And then we're going to also, definitely May 14th when Jermell goes into the ring against Castano too for all the marbles again. We're going to see, will Jermell would be victorious in a very decisive win.
It's a whole lot of marbles on the line.
Sure right. Okay,
a little circle.
In a circle. Thank you.
Bye, ladies.
Tell Errol we said hey, and we're gonna expect your pond video.
Exactly. Today.
I'm gonna send it to you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
All right, bye, Derek. Whoa, he was a designer. He's
gonna make us something. He's gonna make us something for the show. So you heard it here first. Exclusive Derrick James Best Women's Boxing Show collab dropping in the future.
I am just in awe. I didn't even know what to expect. I knew that we were going to talk about Errol and Terence, obviously. I knew we were going to talk about Jermell Castaño, but I had no idea about the design and the pond, and he didn't watch boxing. He doesn't watch women's boxing, but he's very intrigued about this fight this weekend. So
it's a great one.
It's a really good one, but kudos to Derek. We're going to see him May 14th on your birthday for all the marbles, and then he said it first. Errol and Terence is going to go down, and it's going to be a damn good fight.
It is, and we're going to be there. Believe that.
Oh, I'm making sure I got a babysitter. If I have to hire another babysitter, I'm doing it. Jeandra, I always say this, but this was such a fun show. It was a good show.
The things that we make people tell us. So if there's anything that you want to get off of your chest, come to the Best Women's Boxing Show, period.
Or, like I said, our Twitter at Best Women's BSP, Instagram at Best Women's Boxing Show, and our TikTok, Best Women's Boxing Show. And then check out all of our videos on our YouTube. We got some fire stuff. We got some fire TikTok videos and some reaction videos from all of our fighters and from us too. So again, we're going to be coming back to you. And then our next show, we're going to see if all the predictions from all the fighters have come to fruition from all the fights this coming week. So again, thank you for joining us for another episode of Best Women's Boxing Show. Best Women's Boxing Show, period. I am Cynthia Conte.
And I am Jeandra LeBeauf.
See you guys at the fights. Bye, guys.